Ooh.
Too bad, maybe. Hello. Oh, not too. No, not too. Hello. We're live. We're live.
Should I draw the curtain? And
yeah, go on. Yeah. Otherwise, we're going to be very glowy. But it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Hello. Yes.
That one there.
Yeah. Draw it. I don't mind. We are very glowy. Oh. See, we didn't get a chance to sort this out before we start. I don't know about the other one as well, maybe. Yeah. So it's behind the scenes. We didn't get a chance to see what the picture would look like before we started recording. That's the trouble. Anyway, so we've been just been recording a Chatterbox, and Nick's here, and Nick was
obviously
yes, he was part of the Chatterbox episode,
was.
As was Martin and Warren and Toby and Lisa. Toppy had to not appear due to other circumstances that got in the way, but we thought we'd just do a little behind the scenes before we say goodbye. We won't tell you about what happened in the Chatterbox because it'll be out in the next few weeks.
You'll just have to wait and find out.
Yes, but we're going to talk briefly about some of the episodes that Nick's been involved in on the podcast in a moment. But Nick, oh dear, we've got very. I think I'm thinking my big head is blocking out some sort of I won't move too much. I believe you've been buying things.
Yes, we had a little bit of some extra a back pay at work, and as it's my wedding anniversary, we could have thought, well, let's catch up on a few things that we were after. One of which is the portable hard drive. Rugged portable hard drive with all me essential bitties in, and twice as the space of the previous one.
Yeah.
And my previous one, I said to Paul, "Oh yeah, you can have that one," which indeed he can. Now, when I set this one to talk to the other one, and the two, transferring all my information, my laptop fainted. I think it overloaded and just it's not talking to me at the moment, which is hurtful because we're great buddies. Trying to get a new phone, but trying to get a sales assistant in this phone shop to try and get you to actually buy something that you want is I
think that's one of the reasons I've got such an expensive phone, is because I gave up with going to shops, and I think, but then where do you buy a phone?
Exactly.
So I went to Apple and bought an expensive phone. But
I'm going for Apple next time for the first time ever. But I'm going to get. We've got a holiday in Scotland, so that's nice. But I want to get that out of the way and sort of prioritise that financially before we do anything else. We have two little CDs. I'm fond of my sort of soundtracky kind of incidental music-y kind of ones. I don't know if you can see that, but this one I saw when I last went to see Toby and Lisa, and they have it too. And I was knocked out.
We're getting it back to front, so getting reversed.
You're getting back to front, but we'll just put a mirror to the screen. It's called Themes of the Century, and also this one is called Intermission Accomplished, which is, I haven't listened to that one yet, but and what we've got. We went to London because we do like to buy stuff in shops if we can, if we happen to be around at the time. And we bought Public Eye, or iPublic as it says on there, and which is the complete surviving episodes.
Is that network?
It would have been put out just after.
Don't know how long it's. So we don't know how long it's going to be available.
Past. Exactly. So we and similarly we got the complete. Special branch, so trust me.
Or as I like to call it.
Little bit of Silent Running, the film. The Blu-ray's come out, and it's got Bruce Dern on it, amongst other things, who's the actor who was in it. Great science fiction film. My wife we went to a signing, not signing, a book launch of Nigel Planer's first science fiction book, and he signed it to. He signed it to Ali and myself on our 20th wedding anniversary. So there you go. And I bought directed by Douglas Campfield, which is by Michael Seeley. I'm looking forward to reading that. I've been meaning to get that for some time. Michael, if you're watching, I will get your Nightmare Man book, I promise. It's opportunities and all that. But
sorry, listeners, our viewers, I'm not.
He's bored.
I'm not looking at my phone. I have something I need to discuss, and I could put it on the screen, but then we wouldn't be able to see what's being recorded.
There is just one thing I'd like to, and I haven't had time to get it, but if Paul can entertain you just for a sec, tick.
Now the end is near. I don't know the other words, but now the end is near. It's still very near. It's pretty close now. Nick's back. Thank goodness I can stop singing now.
And he did it his way.
Yeah.
30 years ago this month, Paul and I embarked on our first film together, and it was called Sutton Park Prison in the Sun. We wrote the script together, and we previously wrote the book together. It was a sequel, wasn't it, to Old Graham Wrinkly?
Old Graham Wrinkly.
And this was the cover done by Keith Musselwhite, who very kindly helped me master the DVD together in 2010, I think it was.
My favourite, in Risenburp. That's what they call it in the other dimension, the reverse dimension.
The reverse dimension.
My favourite. Prison in the Sun.
Yes.
That's me.
You've never seen it.
No, look, Mum, I'm famous. It's me.
Paul, 30 years ago, that was. And
what changed today?
Toby and Lisa in their first appearance together. And as I say, it was very makeshift to start with, but we as I say, we went on to do other things, and myself, Elaine, and Keith are on the commentary, the extras, packed with extras. Yes.
And Nick, before we go,
I
was just going to talk about a couple of episodes that have come out recently with you on. Previous to this, your most recent episode was episode 636, Shy Yeti's most random episode ever, and that came out in late April. That was one of our random episodes. But moving ahead to much more recently, the two that come out in the last few weeks, in June we had episode 644, Two Views of the Same Week, the 1990 edition.
Yeah.
That was when we were doing our reading bits from our 1990 diary.
The last one we recorded, I think it was.
No, it's not. It's not. It's we have. That's the episode where we did a whole episode of it. We have done some extra things since then that are yet to come out. But this was the first time we sat together and compared. We discovered that luckily we proved that our 1990s were very dovetailed, and we weren't fake. We weren't AI. We haven't been created by.
Although I think we did come up with a paradox, didn't we? Because I had that E300 tape, which was it 300, which had 5 hours of Blake 7 on it, and we worked out from our diaries that it was simultaneously at your house and at my house, because I was watching Moloch for the first time on the same. How did that happen?
During my diary entries, I was most concerned because my video player had chewed up your 5-hour tape, and
I don't remember being all that miffed about it. I think I was.
No,
it wasn't actually. I don't. If it was actually broken, I don't know if it was, but you repaired it.
Yeah, I had it all out on the bathroom floor and the tape. Just to get it back. I was agonizing over it in the diary, and luckily.
I just remember being delighted to be watching Blake 7 again, and socially, it was a a very good start to the year. I mean, I remember the 90s being a very sociable time. Relationships, friends, films, travel. It was a good time. If I would have liked to have left home by then, but hey. But and find career-wise, I turned my life around by the end of it, because I started working at the jolly old hospital.
The other episode that came out in June was an episode which I think we recorded back in February, episode 649. It's time to get randomly science fictiony. Now that's the episode we did with Toppy, and it was one of those times, because sometimes when we record with Toppy, we have a really interesting conversation, like as soon as he comes on the call. But I haven't started recording because I don't know whether. Sometimes this is what happens, viewers. Sometimes you don't know. You might have to have some real life stuff, or somebody might have some bad news, or I don't always start recording because there might be some, or even if I do, I'll edit it out. But more often than not, I don't start recording immediately. But this time I did, and we went straight into chatting. We asked Toppy how he was, and he said he'd been to a convention, a science fiction convention. And we started talking. Then we started talking about times we've been to science fiction conventions, and luckily this was all being recorded. And originally we'd intended just to talk about random questions. I think it wasn't like a top priority episode as far as we had big plans. We just found out we were both. Nick was at my house. Toppy was free, so I said, "Well, I don't know what we're going to do today. I hadn't thought about it, but let's do some recording. Let's do some random questions, if nothing else." And then actually it turned into like half the show being about conventions. And I was able to put random questions, and then I reordered, because originally the science fiction chat came first, and I re-edited it so that came in the middle. And we had a completely different episode than I imagined. We discussed the word steam, relationships, indulge, photo, and reminder in that episode, as well as much convention chat. But anyway, well, we've got plenty of other episodes still to release with you and Nick, but
with me and Nick,
with you and Nick, yes, including today's Chatterbox. But we'll. I'm sorry, I'm not. It's difficult to know whether do you talk to the person you're speaking, or do I talk to you, viewers? I don't know.
It's you, the viewers, that count.
All about you.
It's all about
all
you.
about
It's
you.
all about you, isn't
it's
it?
all about you. Always about you. Goodness. Chat. I don't know.
Yeah.
Get your own YouTube channel. Why don't you?
Yeah.
So cheeky. I have to tell them off sometimes, Nick. You don't know how bad they are. The listeners and the viewers, are they the same people? I don't know. There's a different etiquette, but who knows? Anyway, well,
newsreaders, do they have legs?
Well, I haven't got. I think we might have seen his earlier when he was doing the curtains, but I haven't got legs at the moment. I can't afford them. I'm saving up. But anyway, well, thank you very much for listening and watching and listening, and both, and reading things that are back to front. This is very complicated. Not so complicated on the podcast, isn't it? Much easier on audio. But anyway, well, maybe we'll do some more of these chats. Am I looking at you, or am I looking at you? Am I looking at you? Who am I looking at? Hello. I don't know.
Here's looking at you.
I need to have a lie down now. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for joining in to our little live stream, and I hope you have enjoyed our words and speaking and visions. Yeah, we are visions. Yeah, I think I prefer what I look like on that Prison in the Sun video. Can I go back 30 years, please?
Yep. Right. We just hold that, and he'll do all the talking.
Hello, it's me. Anyway, we're going now. We're going to have wine and Chinese food later. But anyway, thank you for watching.
I'm watching. We're doing lots of watching.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Come back.